Hey, it's been 2 years since New Jersey's largest city gained national attention for elevated levels of lead found in the water supply. Now Newark becoming a model for other cities and states around the country on how to fix this kind of problem.
New York Times writer Kevin Armstrong has been following this story very closely, and he joins us this morning to talk all about how they pulled this off so very quickly. So good morning, Kevin. Good to see you.
Morning. Thanks for having me, guys.
This was a huge undertaking. New York had more than, 20,000 lead pipes. Nearly all of them have been replaced. So do you have any idea how many are left and when the work will officially be completed?
Yeah, just under 2,000. They have 23,000 known lead pipes in the city. Just over 21 are done now. And sometime in the fall, most likely, they still have to go back and take inventory, make sure every last one is done, but they're approaching the finish line at this point.
Kevin, this all came to light back in 2016 when elevated lead levels were detected at more than 24 schools. So who led the charge in making sure the city not only handled the problem really, but then looked into the rest of the city's water supply? Because we've seen this play out in other parts of the country, but Newark moved pretty quickly.
Yeah, it was the community, really. And teachers were at the forefront, obviously, with the schools being involved early on. And not only that, they applied the pressure to Mayor Ras Baraka, and they really rallied. They made community, statements and really got involved actively. And when they did, finally, the pressure was applied enough to the mayor's office and the governor's office, and really everyone got involved after an EPA letter was a scathing letter sent by the EPA to the city that really mandated that they take action.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep in mind, too, we're in the midst of a pandemic, and so all this happened, too, under that. Did that cause a little kink in the system, or was it easy and, smooth sailing throughout?
Yeah, surprisingly little disruption to that action. They really were able to continue to move. Some people wouldn't let them into their house or onto their property because of that, but they've essentially circled back when the virus, had receded at times. So that's part of what's, being done right now is really, filling in some of the holes that were missed during the pandemic, or the height of the pandemic in Newark, which was really ravaged. More than 1,000 people died in the city.
So you were laser focused really on your reporting on seeing this process through. I guess the big question comes down to funding, right? Because again, I mentioned other cities in and around the country that have experienced lead in their water, but it seems like it's an eternity to get it resolved. Where did the money come from, and who funded it?
Yeah, Essex County was a huge part of it, and we talk about infrastructure bills and everything that's being done on President Biden's part and in the Senate right now. But if you look at what Newark's example is, it's that it was Essex County. It was done at a relatively local level in terms of getting everything together here. So it's a national model right now because of what the community did and also what the city and county governments were able to pull off. And, a lot of obviously things are going to be done at a macro scale with the federal funding that's going to come for water infrastructure across the country. But really, it's a nice model for what Newark did do and was able to accomplish on a micro scale.
Absolutely. But let's talk about the residual effects here. What about the children and the people who came in contact with some of that lead while this was being fixed? Any problems on that front?
Yeah, there are still families that are left wondering. Plenty of kids, there was blood was found in their or lead was found in their blood over the years. And, it's a hard thing to trace. It's a hard thing to really know immediately. So there's going to be parents and families that are worrying about this beyond, the last pipe being replaced. So that's one of the chief concerns here is that no level of lead is safe for children or anyone, really. So those effects and those ripples are going to be felt long after this project is done. And clearly more education and efforts need to be done to, keep a close watch on what has happened to these children.
Right, and some of those folks do want to take legal action, I'm guessing, right, somewhere down the line. But a majority of the residents in Newark are renters. So I guess when you look at this at face value, there's not a red tape to get work done when you're a renter, right? So how did the city manage to get around needing landlord's approval to do the work? And again, I'm sorry to keep referencing it, but Kevin, I'm very curious as to why Newark was so quick on doing this, but Flint, Michigan it's still in the works.
Right. You know, when Newark's issue came up, it was all the headlines were it's echoes of Flint. You know, you could hear it, you could see a lot of the similarities. What Newark did differently was act very forcefully and muscularly in terms of its political action. Ras Baraka and the city council were able to pass an ordinance that essentially said that, you know, the workers could go onto private property. And that was important without the owner's approval. And that was important because, as you said, with the renters, over 70% of the residents of Newark are renters. There are LLCs involved. There are landlords that are hard to reach. So this essentially allowed, you know, the Newark workers and contractors to just knock on the door. If nobody answered, then they were able to address the pipes and whatnot after a certain amount. Very important action that was taken in Newark, and that type of action was not taken in Flint. So Flint is nearing the finish line itself, but it's taken 5 years to do 10,000 lines there, whereas in Newark it was 23,000 in just over 2 years.
All right, Kevin, it's a lot to take in, but they did it fairly quickly. Thank you so much for your time today.
My pleasure. Have a great day.
It's an example of government working for the people as they should be, but doing so quickly.
Yeah, actually a success story. Isn't that nice to hear every now and then?